All right, guys, today we're doing a cup video. I have used this Scotch tape to wrap around the top edge of the cup to keep the resin from getting up onto the cup and inside the cup, because that happens a lot. Today I will be using two different colored glitter, a white and a champagne rose gold color. And I decided to start with Mod Podge this time instead of resin like I usually do, because I thought it would give me better time for working with the glitter. So we're just gonna take our spongy brush and we're gonna smear the Mod Podge around on the top of the cup. Make sure we get it nice and even so it's not clumpy, although whether or not I actually achieved this is a whole other question. But here we go. We're gonna smear this all around, top to bottom, and I'm gonna start working on the bottom with my Mod Podge. And you can see I've got some spots that I'm gonna try and straighten out. Looks pretty great. And the Mod Podge, it dries a lot faster than the resin, so I wanted to use this so that I could get moving to the next step quicker. I'm gonna start with the white glitter, and we're gonna put this on the top of the cup. Look at it, shiny. It's all shiny and glittery. So we're gonna put all the white on the top of our cup. We're gonna try and get it all across as evenly as possible. So I tap the end of the cup so that we can knock off some of the excess glitter. And you can see a couple of spots where I did not get the Mod Podge as smooth as I probably should have, but in the end you can't tell. You can't see it on the end cup. So I'm just putting the white on the top, being very repetitive as well. Tap it again so that we can get glitter off. And then in just a second, we're gonna switch to our other color glitter. And then I can show you guys what not to do, because I kind of messed this up a little bit, but I fixed it. I fixed it later on. So it's not that big of a deal, but it'd be easier if you just did it right the first time and not do what I did. Oh, this is such a pretty color. But you can see when using the Mod Podge, if you don't do it fast enough, it starts to dry. And I kind of wanted it for that reason, but it dried too much and I was taking too long. So you'll see what I decide to do here in a minute to try and fix the fact that I waited too long and it's not sticking as well. It's got some dry spots. So tapping the excess glitter off, and you can see where there's spots that it just didn't stick at all because it started to dry. Okay, so I'm using my K-Var varnish. You'll see me pull the can, and I am spritzing all over the glitter to try and get it to hold in place so that I don't have glitter going all over the place. So I'm using the stickiness in the varnish to attach more glitter so that you have less empty spots on the cup, so you can see more of the glitter and less of the spots where you can see through to the cup. I'm spritzing again, spritzing, especially on the bottom, because it really dried a lot more on the bottom than it did on the top. And every time I set that down, it shakes the whole camera. But we're getting a good, we're fixing the spot where it was missing. You can see covering up all the empty spots. However, it would have been easier had I just got it all on the first time and not had to come back and fix it like I had to do like I had to do in this part. All right, adding a little bit more glitter. And I was trying really hard to get a smooth between the top and the bottom, between the champagne-y color. And you'll see I didn't worry about separating, like some people you'll see them do glitter and then they'll take a piece off and they'll store that glitter and then they'll put another piece of paper under it and they'll do the other one. But because of the way that I was doing the the varnish spray, it was getting all in the glitter anyways. And so what I ended up doing was I just, I tried to keep some of it. I believe I have it in a cup. I believe I have some of the glitter in a cup somewhere. But most of it, like, it got clumpy, and so I just threw it out. I didn't worry about keeping it too much. But now you can see we've got much more of a coating, a better coating. You can't see really through to the cup anymore, and you can't really see the spots where the Mod Podge was clumpy either, where I didn't get it as smooth. It seems to have leveled out pretty well. And I'm spraying the bottom of the cup because up till now I haven't put any glitter on there. And then I am putting glitter on the bottom of the cup. I'm kind of tossing it at the bottom of the cup in hopes that it will stick to the varnish. And it's coating it pretty well. I'm trying to catch some of it with my hand, and then I put it back into the thing. And this is where I messed up. Ooh, did you see that? Oh, I got it everywhere, and then I went. So now I've got to put some of the gold champagne-y color all over the top of the cup. And then I got some clumpy pieces. I tried to pick it up from the bottom and they were clumpy. Oh, that looks so horrible. And I just put more and more on it. I'm just getting it everywhere. Don't do what I did. Listen, folks, don't do this at home, because it changed the look of the cup, which was fine. It still came out super adorable. You'll see at the end. But I came back with the white glitter and I tried to cover over some of, especially the spots where it's like clumps. You can see right there where it's like clumps of the glitter got on the top. We are now putting on our coat of resin, which means we set our glitter with the varnish first. And then we're going to go back and we are going to put, here's our resin layer. And I'm just doing a little bit here and there. I don't want to have to rub on it too much because even though I set it slightly with the varnish, I don't want to, if you rub on it, it's going to come off. Not once you get the resin on it, of course. So we're going to smear this all around, and I'm going to try and get it right up to the tape where I've got it at the top so that when I peel the tape off, it's all the way right up to the tape. All the way. Oh my gosh, and check my little stirring stick that you can see here. I got silicone cups, which you can see right there, and I got these new silicone stirring sticks so that I don't have to keep buying the wooden sticks and I don't have to keep using the little plastic cups that you've seen me use in videos past. So the resin just pops right out. It doesn't stick to them. Well, I mean, it sticks to it a little bit, but it pops right off. It doesn't stay. And now we're going to come back and we're going to smooth. I obviously haven't covered with the white glitter yet, fixing my mistake. But we're going to smooth all the resin top to bottom of the cup. And this was me trying not to get to where I had to rub on it too much. And we're gonna get a nice even layer. And make sure you get the bottom of your cup. Make sure you get the whole bottom is covered. You don't want clumpy parts. And you don't want a part that doesn't have any coating on it to where you can see straight through to the glitter, because that would be kind of disastrous, because the resin keeps all the glitter in and keeps it coated and protects the cup from coming apart. And that's really what you want. Is you don't want your cup, especially if you're making these to sell or to give to people, you don't want your cup coming like apart. You don't want pieces flaking off or anything like that. So you want to make sure you're completely coated. So we're putting a little bit more on because it's not as covered as I wanted it to be. Also, guys, make sure you're using gloves and the proper PPE, the protection that you need for the product that you're using. Make sure you read all of your protective guidelines on your resin and your glitter and whatever it is that you're using, anything else you might be using, to make sure that you're protecting yourself and the people around you. You want to make sure that you're being safe, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to smooth this out for a little bit, and then I come back in a minute. See how long I smooth this out for. And you can see some of the glitter came off on my glove whenever I pulled my hand back there. So we did have some of it that was coming loose. It wasn't 100,000,000% set. And especially when you're working with glitter, you want to make sure you get that edge around the bottom of the cup, because it can be the hardest part to coat and to get smooth. Awesome sauce. That looks pretty good, pretty well coated. You guys can see from the light that's shining on the resin. It's so glossy, it's so shiny. You got to make sure you're covering, and if you can manage to get a pretty thick layer on it without it dripping all over the place, which you can see some of it dripped, but especially with the glitter, if you can get a pretty thick layer on your first time, then it saves you time in the end, because usually you have to do 2 or even 3 layers when you use glitter to make sure that it's super smooth. So that's probably why I did that. So we're probably going to spend another couple of minutes smoothing this out, or I might hit it with the torch. We shall see what I'm going to do, or the heat gun. I keep forgetting that I have a heat gun and that I can use. Oh, torch. See? Torching it up. And this will help the resin. When it heats up, it's runnier, and so it actually helps do a coating around the cup easier. You will lose some that drips off when you do it like this, because it's running more and it's falling more, but it helps fill in any gaps and cover any areas that maybe you didn't cover as well whenever you have the resin and it's rotating faster because you hit it with some kind of heat gun, torch, whatever it is. So it's been a while and it seems to be coated, and I picked a sticker. This mama don't want yo drama. I love the sticker. And I picked a part of the cup that didn't have any bumps. It was pretty smooth. And what we're going to do is we're going to line it up. And I picked this sticker because the gold on the sticker matched with the glitter that I wanted to use on the bottom. And we're going to make sure that our sticker is as smoothed down as possible, because we don't want it to, if it's not smoothed down, when we go to put our next layer of resin on, the sticker will like lift up and it can cause bumps and it can look distorted. So you want to make sure that it's completely pushed down before you go to put your resin on top of your sticker, because you don't want to ruin the cup that you've already spent at very least 24 hours on, because we've got a coat of resin. You don't want to ruin that by your sticker coming loose or dislodging or whatever in the middle of your process. So you want to make sure that it's pushed all the way down, any stickers or vinyl or anything like that you're going to use. So we're going to come back with another coat of resin, and we're going to make it, because you can see in the light it's not 100% smooth. It was smooth enough to do the sticker. Probably wouldn't have done vinyl on as bumpy as it was, because the vinyl would show the bumps a lot more than the sticker did. But it was smooth enough for me to put the sticker on and it didn't cause any issues. But with vinyl, you would have wanted to probably do at least another coat, because in the vinyl you'd really be able to see the bumps of the glitter if it wasn't smooth. So we're going to put another layer of resin, and then we're going to smear that around, make it nice and smooth. And we don't need it to be super, super thick, because we're just trying to smooth out the glitter, which is already mostly smooth, and then make sure that our sticker is covered. And that's pretty much the only reason that we're putting this layer on. We want to smooth out our glitter, and we want to cover our sticker. So cute. I love this sticker. It's so sassy. It's so sassy. It's so sassy, and I just absolutely love it. So we're going to coat this, and then I think that's it. I think then we come back and we talk about how we take the tape off, and how we smooth the edges of where the tape was, because we've got 2 layers of resin and glitter on top of the tape. So when we take the tape off, it leaves a little bit of a ledge. So we're going to speed this up, and we are going to skip to the part where I talk to you about taking the tape off. We're going to take it off of here, and then I'm going to attempt to remove the tape that I put on around the top to leave like a clean edge, and see how that works out. So here we go. I'm going to take this whole thing off, scoot that forward. Then we're going to, come on, there it goes. Pop this out, and this is why I use tape around the edge, because sometimes you get, and it didn't stick to it because it's got the tape, sometimes you get a little bit of the resin that seeps. And I used a little, oh, here it is. I used a tiny little push pin every time I did a layer of resin, and I went around the line to try and separate the tape so that maybe I wouldn't have such an issue taking it off. We will see. This is my first time using, it's a new type of tape. So we're going to pull all the edges up like this, and I'm popping off little pieces of resin that are on the edge. Hopefully this comes off with a nice smooth line. I think even if it's pretty smooth whenever I take it off, I'm going to pop it back on and hit it with the heat gun right on the edge, because I don't want it to be like a straight line, you know, where it's like resin, 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 and then like this is where the tape was and there's like a ledge. I want it to be smooth. So even if it comes off pretty perfectly here, I think I'm still gonna pop it back on and hit it with the torch. Oh my gosh, it's coming off. Hit it with the torch to, well, it's somewhat coming off, and that's why I brought my X-Acto knife. Hit it with the torch to level it out. Actually, I might not even use that, because I'm gonna hit it with the torch. So these little pieces, I don't know how well you can see them, but there's little tiny pieces that are sticking up like this. So I'm gonna come back through and try and, actually some of them I'm gonna break off because it's a lot. I'll use my X-Acto knife. What was I talking about? I'm gonna hit it with the heat gun and try and flatten this right here so it's more uniform. Is that the right word? I don't know. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife. This is pretty thin here, this resin. So I should be able to, yeah, just like that. Just kind of run it along the edge, and it just flakes off, because I tried really hard not to get a bunch of resin on the tape, and then again I tried to separate it with the push pin. Oh, it's coming off easily. Oh, there we go. It was coming off really easily, and then it wasn't coming off really easily. Let me see if I do it like this. Not as much. I might just leave this part, and then when I hit it with the torch, it will level out. It's coming off pretty well. I'm actually super in love with the way that this cup came out. It's very bendy, this top piece, because of how thin it is. Because while resin, it cures like concrete, it's still like kind of like glass. If it's a super thin layer, you can break it really easily. All right, so I've got most of the pieces off that I wanted to get off. I'm gonna get glitter on it. So this is what it looks like right now, and I don't know how well you can see, but it's got a pretty big like ledge right there around where the tape was, which I knew there was going to be a little bit, which is why I already planned to do another layer of resin. But before I do that, I'm going to take my tape that I used, which I don't know if you saw how pretty easy that came off. This is a great idea to use. It's electrical tape, I think. That's what it is. Yes, vinyl electrical tape, Super 88. I'm gonna run this along just across the top, and then on the inside again, so that I don't get resin inside of the cup. So we're gonna take this. Do I have scissors here? I do. Okay, good. Me getting up and running all around my studio mid-video. I want to make sure that I have enough, because I do not want to have to do like 2 layers. Grab my scissors and all right, now what I'm going to do is that's going to be a little bit harder than I thought. Maybe I'll just do along the inside. I don't plan on putting a whole bunch on here. And actually, I don't think I'm going to put any on it. I'm just going to heat it up. So what I'm going to do is start on the inside. And I'm going to leave just a tiny little bit up so that I can fold it just over the edge, if I can get it to do that. I don't want too much, because I don't want it to create another ledge that we're going to have to deal with. Sticking tape to myself. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. This cup, oh, I forgot to tell you. This cup is actually going to be up on my brand new shop that my amazing husband has set up for me, and I will put the link in the description. Again, I'm just pushing this to the top like that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So it doesn't quite reach where the resin is, which is good because I didn't want it to cover that spot up again. But it does cover the top of the cup, so we don't have to worry about any going inside of the cup. Anyway, so my husband set me up this shop so that I can sell my stuff without having to go through like a third party like Etsy or something like that, where they charge you for your listings, and it's very competitive and it's very hard to find anything. So I figure if people like my stuff and they want to buy some of my stuff, that they could just go, you know, straight to the source and buy it from my shop. So that was pretty awesome that he set that up for me. So if anyone is interested in any of the stuff that they see in my videos, and I have some coaster sets on there right now. I don't have much on there right now, which is why I'm working to get some stuff done so I can put it in my shop. I'm very excited. And a website, and there's going to be like a whole thing. I'm very nervous and excited because you need to, with these, because it's so tight on it and it's so airtight, you need to have this knot on here so that the extra air can push out when you're pushing this on, so that it can actually go on. All right, we're gonna, where is it at? There it is. Okay, we're gonna do that. Put up my X-Acto knife. Isn't it pretty? It's pink. It's pink. I don't know if you've noticed, but like, I'm a pink person. It's like my thing. It's like my thing. Okay, and now I don't know how to turn this on because my husband has it all smart plugged. Aha! Huzzah! Okay, we're gonna hit this with the torch and hopefully just slightly melt this ledge here. Melt, is that the appropriate term? Whatever the term is. We're gonna hit it with the torch just a little bit, just enough to hopefully maybe soften it so that it smooths. You know what I mean? Smooth it out. Smooth it out. And then we'll let it sit for another couple of hours because we're gonna want that to harden back up. And then I will do some pictures of the cup, and then I will come back and show you guys what it looks like in the end. Hopefully I don't completely ruin it with what I'm about to do. So wish me luck. Awesome. All right. We'll be back once I finish with this and it's cured, and I'll show you what it looks like.